is We All Be News-Free Dixie for the 21st century. See how it works? Can you dig it?
And so just want you to know. Man, I looked at that smile on your face just now. And the first time I ever wished I was a photographer to take that picture. And let the world see that honesty and that integrity. And know some of the things I know, how you drive all over the country to chase us down. Chase us down. Okay? We move so fast. I don't know if you're married, I don't know if you're a family, I don't know if you're a wife. Okay? But when we get on here, we bosom friends. Anytime I see you, I stop whatever I'm doing. Hey, my man, how are you? Hey. Hey, man, what, that's, I owe that to you. It's an obligation that you have. How old are you?
Oh, 36.
Well, you don't have the right to do what 36 people do. You don't have the right to go to the dance or go to the party. You don't have a right to take that trip to Europe when I might need that plane fare to fly somebody else to feed my people that love me. Mm-hmm. You feed them. Oh, it's one thing being hungry from food.
Right.
There's another thing being hungry for information.
That's right.
And that's you to feed them. You got to be the farmer. You got to grow the crop. Huh? You got to till the grain. And at nighttime, when you hear something that sounds like water, you got to go and see if the crop's going to be flooded. That's your job, man.
Hey, everybody, this is Brother Ron. I am asking you all to do me a big favor. Think about supporting the We All Be movement. Your donation is tax deductible. The We All Be Group Incorporated is a recognized 501c3. And I'm just asking you all because I want to keep on bringing y'all quality work through the way that I know how to do best. And I'm going to sing my praises and toot my horn. A lot of y'all were not hip to Dick Gregory until Brother Ron brought him on the We All Be platform, until that Django review we did. Y'all seen another side of Judge Joe Brown, and Judge Joe Brown's message has been amplified. But it was We All Be that brought Judge Joe Brown to y'all back in 2014, and so many others. And we covered so many things. So help us out so we can help you all. Peace.
Out of an abundance of caution to make sure there wasn't even the appearance of politics involved, I require DAs in Tennessee to do.
That, of course, Shelby County DA Steele Mulroy denying politics played a role in last night's bombshell affecting Sheriff Floyd Bonner.
That bombshell was the indictment of 9 deputy jailers who worked for the sheriff, just as he's asking Memphis voters to elect him mayor in 2 weeks.
Well, today we learned who those 9 county corrections officers are and why they're accused of having a role in this video of inmate Gershon Freeman, who died in custody at the county lockup almost a year ago. ABC 24's Jay Shakur is live downtown tonight to break down what else we learned today. Jay?
Richard Pepper, court records confirm 9 indicted officers. We know the identity of 8 of the 9. We're told that 9th officer has yet to turn themselves in. 9 Shelby County deputies indicted on multiple charges leading to the October 5th, 2022 death of Gershon Freeman. Thursday, an unsealed indictment confirming the identity of 8 of the 9 deputies seen here on your screen. The indictments include Stephen Jones and Courtney Parham, charged with second-degree murder and aggravated assault. The other 6 officers who have been processed are charged with aggravated assault leading to a death.
Good afternoon.
Wednesday night, Sheriff Floyd Bonner lashed out at the indictments, arguing the charges were politically motivated.
State law allows me to withhold jail video surveillance tapes from the public due to security reasons.
Sheriff Bonner also reiterated his belief that the release of the video showing Freeman beaten and restrained by correctional officers while naked was done so illegally.
Sheriff Bonner said multiple times.
District Attorney Steve Mulroy refutes this and defended Special Prosecutor Nashville District Attorney Glenn Funk, whose office released the video.
There is a law that says the TBI investigative file shall not be released. Now, the question is any third-party document or piece of video that happens to come into the possession of TBI, is that part of the investigative file?
Thursday afternoon, a Freeman family attorney says they're pleased by the indictments and looking towards the ongoing civil case.
Family was very relieved that some sort of justice was being brought. Certainly those weren't the only 9 officers involved, but it was a huge win.
Now, Attorney Ben Crump, whose team is representing Freeman's, he released a statement saying these indictments reflect the fight for justice for so many who die in custody. No person deserves to die in prison at the hands of those who are responsible for them and their care. Now, the 8 officers who have turned themselves in are due to appear in court for the first time October 27th. Live in downtown Memphis, I'm Jay Shakur.
Guess who's back? Back again. Brother run. Tell a friend. Guess who's back and still black? Guess who's back and still black? Boom, 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 boom. Hey, everybody. Welcome to We All Be News Free Dixie for the 21st century. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Brother Ron, also known as R2C2H2, the artist. And you are in the We All Be Spin Free Zone. News Free Dixie for the 21st century. Said do one for this Sunday fun day. I hope y'all having a great Sunday kind of love. There should be 24/7 LMA, whatever. I hope y'all having a great day out there. It's a beautiful, gorgeous day in the city of good abode, also known as Memphis, Tennessee, or Tennessee, or some people call it Memphrica. You know, people got these jokes about Memphis. Memphis is the most beautifulest land. The most beautifulest land in the world is just like that. It's Memphis. So I had to come to y'all. You know, this might be a short and nice, short and sweet podcast broadcast for yours truly. I'm trying to stay under 2 hours. A lot to talk about. But I just wanted to play that clip about the Gershon Freeman case. I thank God, the Most High, the universe, so God, for bringing it to the attention of the people. Karma is something else. Now, I don't know if y'all familiar with the Gershon Freeman case. It's been getting in the news cycle as of late, which is great. You know, God bless that man's family. But this brother was beat down bucky naked. They beat this brother down bucky naked in 201 Poplar. That's our jail site in Memphis, Tennessee. 201 Poplar, according to statistics, is a worse place to be in than Rikers Isle up in New York City. So you got a jail that's held the size of Rikers Island, but it's considered more notorious than Rikers Island. That's crazy, man. I don't even want to go down to 201 Poplar for a ticket. You understand? It's very interesting. It's been notorious for mistreatment of prisoners, allegedly poor conditions and everything. I would not even send my worst enemy down to 201 Poplar. But Floyd Bonner, the current sheriff of Shelby County, Tennessee, is running for mayor of Memphis, Tennessee. And so there's been some, blowback on him. He was considered one of the leading pretenders, whatever, for the title of mayor of Memphis. But this has hit his campaign, and he says a political witch hunt in so many words that they're after me, they're trying to destroy me, they're trying to ruin me. And my thing, he's more concerned about his image than the actual reality of this video footage, which shows something very inhumane, in my opinion. Now, people can say what they want to say. Say the brother was psychotic, had a psychotic break, that he was out of his mind, insane in the membrane, but he should have had his day in court. There could have been better ways to de-escalate that situation. Matter of fact, before I get too involved in what I'm trying to do, let me do my thing. Bobby, hit it on the one. Bobby, hit it on the one, baby. Before we get too deep in that, I want to play another clip concerning the Gershon Freeman situation. And it comes from an inmate, a former inmate at 201 Poplar, who was spending or serving his jail time with Gershon Freeman while Gershon Freeman was there. He has some, and this was months ago. This clip, I thank God there is a God, because the media, the local media, try to crush this. They did not try to share this with the public. And the crazy thing is, the mayor election, the general election, is on October 5th, 2023. That's Thursday. And Gershon Freeman's life was taken from him October 5th, 2022 in 201 Poplar. This man was beat to death, bucky naked, by up to 20 sheriff deputies. That's women and men, not just men. Y'all talking about the Tyree Nichols thing. Had that handled what happened to Gershon Freeman properly, it may not have been a Tyree Nichols situation the next year. So I want to play what his inmate said, a former inmate that was serving time with Gershon Freeman, what the cellmate, because I don't know, they call him Gershon or Gershon. I'm going with Gershon, like Gershwin, like George Gershwin. I'm going with Gershon. And I have a surprise to tell y'all later, not too soon, but not too later, actually. But I just want to play with this former inmate. Boy, they got a couple, but I want to play the one from several months ago. I thought that was brave for the man to come out like that. Okay, this is almost a year ago when the brother came out. God bless this brother. May he be protected by the Most High and the righteous ancestor. He came out to the news almost a year ago about the murky, muddy situation why Gershon Freeman was killed bucky naked by up to 20 sheriff deputies. So I want to play this news clip since I got demonetized by YouTube, by ScrewTube, whatever. The show must go on, the marathon continues. But if y'all love what Brother Ron does, like to hear the word from Brother Hurt, support the channel. You got ways, Cash App your support, PayPal it, Zelle, Vimo, buy some art, wear some Brother Ron art, whatever. They really trying to get me out of here, but the Most High got me. So let me bring this news to y'all. And listen to what the brother said. This is the former inmate that was serving time with Gershon. This is what he had to say about the situation. And this is almost a year ago. This brother, I don't know. I hope the brother doing well. I hope they ain't been attacking him, trying to silence him, because we don't take care of our people that look out for us, man. We don't really, as a people, take care of the folks that they put their necks and their lives on the line to tell us the truth. We can't handle the truth. We up here at blase, caring about some football, some foosball. Don't care about none of these sports, man. I'd rather look at tarot card readings on YouTube. Matter of fact, I just been looking at tarot card readings on YouTube concerning Taurus, concerning me. I'm a Taurus. I rather look at tarot card readings on YouTube than to watch football right now. That's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at. But this is We All Be, News Free Dixie for the 21st century. About to play this clip and know that the best is yet to come. Thank you. Let's get this set up. All right.
New tonight, a man who says he was the cellmate of a prisoner who was killed while Custody at 201 Poplar. Freeman died at the Shelby County Jail, but questions remained about what happened. He was in jail for domestic violence charges. Jay Shakur has more.
Inmate Gershon Freeman died Wednesday evening while in custody at the Shelby County Jail. Family members are saying they got a call early Thursday morning that Freeman had been in a fight. Jacob Wilder says he was Freeman's cellmate at 201 Poplar before his release Thursday, and he says he witnessed this altercation. Wilder claims the inmates were on lockdown for several days and dealing with unsafe living conditions.
They got into it because Mr. Freeman got sick and tired of, being locked down for 7 days straight with no food, no water, nothing, not being able to call his family and his folks.
Wilder alleges that Freeman and another inmate began arguing. Then Wilder says a correctional officer opened the cell's doors and allowed a physical fight to ensue between Freeman and another inmate.
The CEO officer, he called for backup, and that's when the DRTs, 4 of them, came after Mr. Freeman. They was beating him to death, stomping his head in, and he was screaming, saying, "Stop, stop, stop." Pepper spraying him.
Wilder claims it was nearly an hour before any medical aid arrived.
He was unconscious, no speaking, no breathing, nothing, just laying there. But the nurses, they came and got him, picked his body up, and, carted him off the pod.
Wilder claims he was told not to say anything, but feels he has to share what he feels to be the truth.
I'm going to speak on what I know, and what I know is what I know. Ain't nobody going to tell me different.
In Memphis, I'm Jay Shakur.
This is still an open and ongoing investigation. We did reach out to the TBI about Wilder's claims. Now, they didn't answer our questions, but the TBI says Freeman's body was sent for an autopsy to determine the exact cause of death, and they're awaiting those results.
Most people have no clue.
And thank God to that brother. I hope he's protected. I hope he's well, doing well. He's protected by the Most High and the righteous stars. Let's wrap that brother up in prayer for telling what really went down, that the mainstream media don't want to talk about, that the 201 people don't want to talk about. This brother was targeted. He did not deserve the fate. He did not deserve to be judged like that and to be killed. I have talked to people just out and about. I have talked to some women, some black women, or one black woman. She said he deserved what he got. And she's a black mother. She got a grown son in the military, but she said, well, he deserved what he got. I said, why you say he deserved what he got? Well, he's a big dude and he had a psychotic break. I said, but they did things to make him have that psychotic break. Okay, like you think that's okay for them? She said, well, they trying to get home too. Like that's the excuse that everybody use when law officers or law officials screw up. Oh, they try to get home to their family too. Well, okay. And I think everybody want to get home to their family and whatnot, but you don't trample on people's human rights in doing so. That was not even necessary. In my opinion, I know people can get that adrenaline rush. Don't get me wrong, but according to that former cellmate of Gershon's, there were other things involved, other elements and things involved that provoked that man to have a psychotic break, which led to his demise. And the reason why I know about this case is because I attended the homegoing celebration of a dear friend of We All Be, the one and only, the late great Mother Georgia King, iconic Memphis civil rights activist. She passed on to glory right before her birthday, a life affirmation day. So I was coming out of her services, her homegoing services, and it was right next door downtown to the Judge DeArmie Bailey courthouse. Judge DeArmie Bailey is a friend of mine, or was a friend of mine. He's a righteous ancestor now. Hey, Brother Roger. Judge DeArmie Bailey tell me, Ron, you must amplify. You must amplify the things that need to be paid attention to. You must use your voice to provoke change, to advocate, to agitate for change. That's my Jegna, DeArmie Bailey. And you know DeArmie Bailey, he's a judge. He not only played as a judge, he was a judge, He was the judge in The People versus Larry Flint. The judge that Woody Harrelson character, Larry Flint, was throwing like mangoes or oranges at. That was my friend, Judge DeArmie Bailey. He was also the minister in How Stella Got a Groove Back. He was the minister that married Angela Bassett and Taye Diggs in that movie. He did a lot of movies. I mean, prolific author. He was considered so radical as a politician that he was recalled from Berkeley City Council back in the day.
Now think about that. You know, DeArmond Bailey was on the city council, alderman, whatever they call it, out in Berkeley, California. You know, he was that man was so radical that they recalled him off the council. And he stood down Huey P. Newton. Like Huey P. Newton was trying to bully him to join the Black Panther Party. And I stood my ground, Ron. Brother Ron, I stood my ground. And, God bless DeArmond Bailey. But anyway, I saw there was a press conference being held on the steps of the Judge Bailey Courthouse, downtown Memphis. And I thought it was related to the Tyree Nichols thing because the 5 cops got arraigned that day in court, whatever. I thought they was doing like a press conference after the fact. Now, Ben Crump was there. Attorney Ben Crump was there, but he also, it was a different case. This is a case that happened months before the Tyree Nichols thing. It happened last year, October 5th, 2022. So yeah, Ben Crump, along with the Donati law firm, that's a local law firm here in Memphis. Bryce Timmons, who is the lawyer for the Gershon Freeman family, who represents the interest, the estate of Gershon Freeman in court. He will be joining us tomorrow, Monday, October 2nd, 3 p.m. Eastern time, 2 p.m. Central time. I will have on We All Be Bryce Timmons, the lawyer for the family of Gershon Freeman, the Black man who was beaten down bucky naked October 5th, 2022 in 201 Poplar. He will be on this show, bless us with some updates. I might have some other people on the show as well, some surprise guests as well. So I'm gonna make sure I promote that, let you people know about it, and your vote do count. But anyway, so Ben Crump was with the family of Gershon Freeman, along with the Donati law firm representatives, the lawyers from the Donati law firm, Bryce Timmons and company. And I never heard of the case. It was my first time hearing this case of this Black man, about 33, 34 years old, getting beat down, beaten to death by 20 sheriff deputies, of the men and women, at 201 Poplar. It was disturbing that there was no media outcry. The media did show up that day to record the press conference. You can find it. Take a look. It's all online on YouTube. That's right, dude. You know, you can look it on YouTube, the full press conference from that day back in March. But what I'm saying is, I didn't hear about that until that March. I thought it was Tyree Nichols. I said, dang, is something else happened? And that's when I heard about how bad the conditions were at 201 Poplar, how it was way worse in 201 Poplar than it was in Rikers Island, which is way bigger than 201 Poplar up in New York. And I think Sheriff Bonner is the top lawman in Shelby County, Tennessee. He's running for mayor of Memphis, although he does not live in the city of Memphis. He lives in Bartlett, from my understanding, but yet the court allowed him to run, and he was more concerned about being allowed to run as a non-resident for mayor of Memphis than he was about the shenanigans going on under his watch at 201 Poplar. It's like, I think it was like over 50 deaths have happened since he's been sheriff. Now, Sheriff Bonner is the first Black sheriff of Shelby County, Tennessee. But what people don't understand about sheriffs and stuff, see, if you're a student of the civil rights movement, one of the most powerful people that was like opposed to the civil rights movement will be the sheriffs of these counties down in the South. If you was a sheriff of a county in the Southland, you was a god. You was God. If you was a sheriff of a county in Mississippi or Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, whatever, you was God. Your word was the first and last word. You know, if you think about the case with Michael Jordan's daddy being killed, and that brother, the Black brother who's still in prison, who should not be in prison, his lawyers violated his rights. I mean, the whole court system violated that brother. That brother should not be in prison right now. But the sheriff of that county where Michael Jordan's dad was killed, he had a very dirty reputation. He's deceased now, but a lot of people feel like he was a drug trafficker. He controlled the drug trade because, you know, I-95 corridor, you know, it was like up the East Coast down to Florida. A lot of drug trafficking goes on. And they were saying in that county in particular, it was known for having a lot of high drug trafficking volume. And there was a thing that said that Michael Jordan's daddy actually was killed at this hotel or motel, whatever, Holiday Inn, whatever. I ain't say it was Holiday Inn, I'm just saying hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. Say what? It's 50th anniversary of hip hop, right? But what I'm saying is, it was said that he was killed at a hotel. Drug deal went bad. Michael Jordan dad was trying to get some cocaine or something allegedly. This is one of the stories I heard. Something went sideways. They killed him at the hotel. The Indian guy, got his body to dispose of it. And then he called the black dude. The black dude was actually over some family and friends home. He was celebrating. He had alibis. His girlfriend, he had a whole bunch of people. He was with people that night when Michael Jordan's daddy got killed. But he called himself helping his so-called best friend, the Indian guy. Native American, whatever, $5 Indian, whatever, Lumbee tribe, whatever they got down in the Carolinas. But he called himself helping his friend after the fact. So he was really an accessory after the fact. So they'll drive around Michael Jordan's daddy's Lexus. The whole case is weird because they cremated Michael Jordan's daddy's body. And the thing about it was, why would you cremate his body? If you look at he had expensive dental work. I'm sure he had expensive dental work. He's the son of Michael Jordan, one of the most famous people on the planet. You have a Lexus, I think it was a Lexus, right, that Michael Jordan brought for his dad. The dealership, Chicago tags and everything. I don't know. As you know, that they cremated his body because they don't want the people to know what was the real cause of death. That would have sounded like to me to cover their tracks. But anyway, getting back to this case, is a disgrace. Gershon alleged, he's a married man. He was married. Now, this was a married black man. His daughter, God bless her, his widow, his mother, father, and other supporters were there. And that story was like, I said, why hasn't the local media covered this fully? Like, why, all this outrage with Tyree Nichols, which was horrible. But if you see the footage of what they did to that naked black man and to Unpopular, that's like, wow. Right now the U.S. Department of Justice is investigating the Memphis Police Department, but the Sheriff's Department is out of control. It's the wild, wild west of Memphis right now. And to me, a man who says, you're the top lawman in the county, but yeah, you say you could do a better job in enforcing or dealing with the law as mayor of Memphis. I don't think so, buddy. And I'm glad that the news finally did right by covering this story, because 9 of his sheriff deputies have been indicted, including 2 black women. I told you it was women and men involved in being this, and it was black. You were black people. So y'all can miss me with, oh man, we need more black folks in law enforcement. My worst experiences have been with black law enforcement officers. Some of my worst experiences dealing with, and even with the sheriff deputy department, right? I remember I was driving out in East Memphis, and it was a car going real fast in front of us. My mom was in the passenger side, and I was driving. And then all of a sudden, we saw these lights, flashing lights. The sheriff deputy pulls over his sister. She wasn't a bad-looking black woman, but she was sheriff deputy, right? And we try to figure out why she pulled us over. Like, I saw her lights go on. You know how it goes. I pulled over, make sure my hands on the steering wheel, whatever. But yeah, we didn't understand why I got pulled over, because I wasn't going excessively fast or anything like that. So my mom was trying to, actually, I said, Mom, chill. Just chill. Mama, just settle down. I'm trying to survive the encounter. I don't want to be on news. Let's chill. So, okay, we come down. I said, Mom, please come down. So the lady come and I gave her my license, registration, yada, yada. She come back, and this is what she told me. I kid you not. This is what she told me, looking at me and my mom. She said, you know why I pulled y'all over? I said, please tell. I don't know. Because I couldn't catch the car in front of you. This is what she said. She said, I could not catch the car in front of you, so I decided to pull you all over. This is what she told me. And my mom was like, what? The deflated, like, like, what? So for some reason, I did not go to court to contest. I really do believe I was out of the town, because I was doing a lot of traveling, driving out and around the country. So that's why I think I missed my court date, and I just went ahead and paid the ticket. But if I was in town, I definitely would have went to contest that, because she told us, like, basically she pulled us over because she couldn't catch the person. Like I said, it was a person going real fast in front of us. So they let you know this is Memphis. And y'all keep on thinking that, even on Boys in the Hood, That blackity black cop. He was blacker than his uniform. I hate your black neck. I hate your black lips. That black cop, right? So I mean, let you know. I remember I got pulled over by a state trooper in Missouri, the state of Missouri. I call it Missouri, I call it Missouri. I got pulled over out eating pork rinds. I was going like almost 80 miles an hour because I was coming from Kansas City going back to Memphis. State trooper pulled me over. I had my pork rinds all on me. It was a white state trooper, right? So I got the car. I think I brought my pork rinds with me. Sitting in his patrol car. He said, so what's going on? I said, hey, well, I'm trying to get home, sir. I said, I told him I went to school in St. Louis. I went to Washington University. So you went to Washington University in St. Louis? Said, yeah. Well, I'm going to give you a discount on your ticket. This man said, I'm going to give you a discount on this speeding ticket because you went to WashU and graduated. So I appreciate it. I'm going back to WashU for the Black Alumni Reunion, the first one, October. This month, actually. I'm looking forward to it about 2 weeks. And I had my traumas dealing with WashU. And I want to talk about therapy on this podcast as well, too, about the benefits of therapy. I'm living proof of that. But anyway, yeah, so this is what you deal with, man. So don't tell me about you need more black police or you need less white police. You just need more people that got some sense of ethics and a moral compass to be in law enforcement. You need people that really care about people, that you really, believe in not doing the least harm to anybody. So we all can survive the encounter and go home to our families. But, Bonner is interesting. He's more concerned about the legalities of releasing the footage than actually the content or the context of the footage. I want to play that. Since I ain't making no money, they demonetized me on YouTube. They just basically said, Ron, you drive around the country, you interviewed Dick Gregory, you made that popular, you drove around the country on your dime, stayed in the hotels, gas, getting cursed out by Dick Gregory. We don't feel like you should make any money off your videos. That's what basically ScrewTube told me. But anyway, either here or there, I'm doing the people business. If you want to support, you know how to support it. So let me find that Bonner clip where he's talking about, well, this is just a political attack against me because I'm running for mayor and y'all don't care. Y'all trying to destroy my chances. I don't want you to be mayor. You can't own up to your faults. I don't, and I'm gonna talk about this mayor election. Leaves a lot to be desired. The Memphis mayor race leaves a lot to be desired, man. So I can play a clip. This is We All Be News-Free Dixie for the 21st century. We all be News-Free Dixie for the 21st century. Woo, boy. There's a lot of crap going on, man. Y'all stay protected. Righteous ancestors are real. God is real. We're going to talk about how real God is. I'm a living testimony. I'm a living miracle that God is real. Whatever you think you may or may not believe, I'm telling you God is real. I don't go to church, but God is real. I promise you. But my truth does not to be validated by your ignorance. But let's get to this. I'm going to play Sheriff Bonner, his response. He's stand by his cops. Stand by his cops. Let me just play this clip and we'll talk about that.
Breaking news update 9. Shelby County jailers have been indicted in the death of Gershon Freeman. Good evening.
Died last year while in custody at 201. WRAG's Jones live with breaking details.
Well, Greg, Steph, we know at least returning to. However, 9 Shelby County Corrections deputies have been indicted in the death of Gershon Freeman. The Shelby County.
Are you sick of having issues with your webinar?
So you see how that goes. Sheriff Bonner's claim is like a political witch hunt. It's a political agenda. Everything's political. Where you decide to eat your chicken, get your chicken from, that's politics. You're going to go to Popeyes, churches, KFC, or the Kroger's, or Republix, or whatever they call that place. They got some good chicken. But anyway, Of course, it's political. Everything's political. But the thing about it is the fact that you hear how he's more concerned about his chances of being mayor than he is about what happened on that videotape. And then people say it was a pre-existing condition. We all got pre-existing conditions. Sometimes you don't know you have a condition until you have a condition. You know what I'm saying? Until you encounter a situation that causes you to acknowledge that you have a condition. So to say it's pre-existing condition, but yet the medical examiner said it was a homicide. So it's like the George Floyd defense. Like he had some stuff in his system. Okay, but he was getting choked out too. People are strange. Everybody got something going on with their body they may or may not be aware of. But you can do things to provoke certain outcomes and reactions from said person's body that can leave them very much unalive. And Gershon Freeman had no business being unalive under those circumstances. Them guys should have had better training, better decorum when dealing with people that might have mental issues. It's not being mentally ill should not be a death sentence for anybody. I remember a clip that I saw some years ago. A woman down, I believe, in Houston, Texas. She called the police on her mentally ill brother. Like, I think the reason why she called the police on her mentally ill brother, this is a black woman, a black family, was because he locked himself, I guess, in the restroom, wouldn't come out the restroom, something like that. Or he stole the last slice of pizza. But I think it was about him locking himself in the bathroom. She called the police. And instead of police de-escalating the situation, they killed him. They killed her brother just for being, unagreeable. They killed this man. And the sister, you could hear her screaming, I didn't want y'all to do this to him. You should not call the police. Quite evidently, police are not trained on how to deal with the mentally ill. I would say some of the police are mentally ill. Dick Gregory used to talk about how, police officers will have high divorce rates, domestic violence issues and stuff like that. But Dick said the reason a lot of that was because of the lead in the bullets. They wearing all this lead around them at all times. It affects with your mind. It can mess up your mind. That much exposure to lead. He was saying that the lead, and then also Dick said it should be having insurance on them when they got to pay when they kill people like that. A police officer life is no more important than your life. People are, and I think Hollywood needs to be confronted on how they glorified police behaving badly. Like Hollywood glorifies police behaving badly, the police breaking their own laws to so-called enforce said law. Hollywood is responsible, and they always talking about some gangster rap music and all that. Hollywood is responsible for saying that, we want the Dirty Harrys. We want the Lethal Weapon character that Mel Gibson played. We like them guys to be in charge. It don't work like that. But it's like bad behavior has been getting rewarded lately, especially in law enforcement. My understanding now, I haven't read it. Somebody told me I was surprised, but I wasn't surprised. Police Chief Davis, Memphis Police Chief Carolyn Davis, I think her name Carolyn Davis, from A.L.'s finest, the creator of the Scorpion Unit, that's Training Day on steroids. They told me she got a $130,000 raise. And now this woman should have resigned, fell on her sword, resigned for that situation with the Scorpion Unit as it relates to Tyree Nichols. Because that group was probably terrorizing the community for years. Just so happened that Tyree Nichols died on their watch and it was recorded, even though they were trying to hide their body cams or disconnect their body cams. The universal God reveals all. It's like when they're trying to hide Emmett Till's body by burying his body up down in Mississippi instead of sending it back to his mama, Mammy Till, in Chicago. The universal God has the final say. So body cam didn't lie. And it was interesting that I remember when they first premiered the Tyree Nichols beating on TV, on local news and on national news, I said to myself, like a lot of people did, like, who was that white dude that told him to get his ass or kick his ass? Why wasn't he charged as well? I'm gonna tell you why he wasn't charged. Because if they had one white boy, that big white Pillsbury Doughboy Butter Biscuit, if he was on there with them 5 Negroes, Memphis would have burned that night. Because black people only care when white folks do stuff with us. I mean, it what it seems like. It only matters when white people violate black people. It only matters when white cops, oh, black and black, okay, yeah, black on black crime, whatever. But yeah, you got people that look like you that do things to you all the time. But you more upset when the white people do things than your own kind doing things to you. Therein lies the problem. Like, if they put that white butter biscuit boy, Pillsbury dope boy on TV and said, we're going to fire him along with these 5 cops. Now, they have showed his white face that night they premiered that video. Memphis would have burned. Burn, baby, burn. Sure enough, they would have blocked that bridge for 48, 72 hours. They know what they're doing, sobs. So they want you to get outraged, want you to get emotionally invested over BS, right? But the thing about it is Tyree Nichols is the latest in a long line of Memphis police brutality cases, greatest hits. There's so many of them. I mean, go back even 55 years ago to what they did to, well, I can't think of his name. Larry Payne. I'm friends with his sister, Carolyn Payne, and still got a pain in her heart. That trauma, that tragedy broke that family. That family was traumatized. His mother was traumatized to the day she died. Brother messed up. His sister, everybody traumatized from what happened back on March 28th, 1968, the same day as Dr. King's last march. We had this 16-year-old kid getting killed in front of witnesses in the projects by the police, getting blown away. Then the police pointing the gun at his mom saying, nigga, you better get back. When she's trying to do what a mother should do, run towards your child, embrace your child in their time of need. So they would not even allow his mom to embrace her child while he was dying. And that brought her to the day she died. I interviewed her back in 2010, and the trauma never left her. And her son, I hear the trauma in his voice. And so you got stuff that happened in 68, and you wonder why Tyree Nichols happened in 2023, and you wonder why Gershon Freeman happened in 2022. You got, man, there's so many things in Memphis with police brutality. It's ridiculous. The Memphis Race Massacre, 1866. That was started by police misconduct. All your major riots and stuff in this country, massacres even, are started by police misconduct. Y'all think it's the thugs in the hood. No, it's the thugs in uniform that start the most, and they the ones they upholding the law. Whose law? When it's mob rule, right? So it's very fascinating. It's very fascinating. But y'all get mad at rappers like Tupac for talking about the cops, how they were doing people in the streets. Like Tupac said, I didn't have a record till I made a record, being targeted by law enforcement. He shot them 2 off-duty Atlanta police or Georgia cops for harassing a black motorist. He probably saved that black man's life because they were using stuff that they got at the evidence room illegally. So they had maybe a throwaway gun or whatever. But what I'm saying is, y'all crap on Tupac because the lyrics he talked about, especially on his first album, about getting payback on the cops. But his family has been targeted by them, and his core family have been targeted by the government for decades. And he was one of the biggest targets. Tupac was Fred Hampton Sr.'s revenge. Like Tupac talked about how his mom used to make him read the New York Times to punish him so he could be more aware. Then she also told him about the great Fred Hampton Sr. and what he was trying to do in Chicago to unite the gangs, Rainbow Coalition. See, I think the Rainbow Coalition is from LGBTQ mafia. No, that came from Fred Hampton, Rainbow Coalition. Jesse Jackson co-opted the Rainbow Coalition, and the Rainbow Mob co-opted the Rainbow Coalition. But there was Fred Hampton Sr., who did that. He was 21 years old when the government killed him in his sleep. Y'all talking about the good news about Keefe D, been dry snitching on himself for years. Finally, they caught him. The feds is watching. They were watching Vlad TV. The feds is watching. They're watching Art of Dialogue. I love Art of Dialogue. Their brother doing his thing. But I'll tell you who really killed Tupac. It's a no-brainer. U.S. government killed Tupac. U.S. government killed Tupac Amaru Shakur. U.S. government did it. U.S. government killed Dr. King. The gun that killed Dr. King came from the FBI. U.S. government killed Malcolm X U.S. government killed Fred Hampton Sr. U.S. government killed JFK. U.S. government killed RFK. U.S. government killed a whole bunch of people. U.S. government did it. It's like they built them bridges, like Obama said, the government did that. Well, the government killed Dr. King too. It is what it is. And y'all, government policy created street gangs. Government policy created the mafia. You wouldn't have no Al Capone and Lucky Luciano and the Commission and the Five Families without prohibition. You wouldn't have the mob while legalizing gambling in Vegas. Y'all need to start thinking, because time is running out. FBI dirty. You talking about Donald Trump or Rico? Why don't you do Rico on the FBI and the CIA? Who the biggest drug trafficker? It ain't Pablo Escobar. It ain't El Chapo. How can El Chapo be a billionaire and be in prison? What billionaires go to prison? I remember reading an article. I can't find it now. They be scrubbing the internet, but it's like a paper from Chicago. This is like, it blows my mind how they be so open with the so-called conspiracy. Y'all say it's conspiracy. No, it's not conspiracy when they tell you what they're doing to you or what they're going to do to you. That's an agenda. That's a promise. It's not a conspiracy. It's a promise that they're going to screw you over by any means necessary, man. So I remember I read this article online. I'm going to find this paper, this article. It talks about how the drug enforcement people, DA, they made a deal with one of these, I think it's Sinaloa, whatever, El Chapo's cartel. One of them made a deal with the government where it said, we'll allow you to control up to 85% of the drug trade in Chicago behind a certain type of drug if you snitch on the other cartels. They put this in a newspaper in America. Y'all talking about Gary Webb and Dark Alliance. They destroyed Gary Webb's career. They destroyed Gary Webb. They suicided Gary Webb. But now they telling you in the papers, the same papers that was trying to ban Gary Webb, hey, DA making deals. The feds is watching. They're making deals with the cartel. You snitch on this one, we get that. Like Whitey Bulger. Whitey Bulger, the Irish mob boss up in Boston, he worked with the FBI. Like the movie Departed with Jack Nicholson is based on Whitey Bulger, who had a relationship with the FBI. His brother was a state senator in Massachusetts. He had protection. Y'all always talking about the mafia killed Kennedy. No, they didn't. The government killed Kennedy. The mafia were contracted by the CIA as hitters. They were hitters. They were not masterminds. They didn't run the show. They were just goons. They were just hired men. When John Roselli from the Chicago mob and Sam Giancana, his boss from the Chicago mob, were called to testify before Congress in the 70s about their covert activities. They killed Johnny Roselli down there in Florida. They found his body all mashed up in a drum barrel, whatever they call it, drum oil barrels, whatever, floating out the coast of Florida. They killed Sam Giancana in his mansion in Oak Park, Illinois, in his basement, in his kitchen where he was cooking sausages. Probably his best friend. Because in the mob, they send your own friend to kill you. That's how they do it, because you never see it coming. But one day going to be that day, Krabs. It's going to be somebody that you trust and love and was the best man at his wedding, whatever, or the godfather to his children. That may be the one do you in. So there should be a lesson learned. But I'm saying all this say, get back to Tupac. I don't know why people think this is news. I remember reading years ago, I don't know, it was Vibe magazine. I think it was Vibe magazine. Yeah, it was Vibe magazine. The same year that Biggie got killed, I got a Vibe magazine. They had Biggie's profile on the magazine like he was lying dead or something like that. I think it was a Vibe magazine. It wasn't no magazines. But they were talking about how it was well known that Puffy and Bad Boy would use Crips as their security out in L.A. When they come to L.A., they'll use the Crips as their security. That was well known. That was like 20-something years ago, I remember reading about that. And y'all are like, this is brand new. Like, oh, he was using the Crips as security. Nah, they've been talking about that for years. And Gene Deal, he's been talking about this stuff for over 20 years. And I would say go to Nick Broomfield's Biggie and Tupac documentary that came out 20-something years ago. I can't believe time go by so fast. See, Nick Broomfield, the Englishman, the British guy, documentary filmmaker. Look at it. It's on YouTube probably. You probably see it for free somewhere because y'all love getting stuff for free. He interviewed Gene Deal, and he talked about a lot of stuff that we take for granted now about this case. And he interviewed Russell Poole, the former cop who was very much involved in the find out what happened to Biggie. They did the movie. Johnny Depp played them in the Labyrinth movie, The City of Lies, with Forrest Whitaker as a journalist. See, Picasso said it best. He said, art is a lie that make us realize truth. Art is a lie that make us realize truth. Art is a lie that make us realize truth. You know, that movie was delayed coming out because of Johnny Depp's legal situation. This is what they do. When you try and tell the truth, they want to assassinate your character. They want to undermine you, blackball you. Anything to shut you up. Like with Mel Gibson, I want to see that movie about the child trafficking stuff. They got all Hollywood afraid. And my thing about y'all so weird to me. I remember when Oprah Winfrey was kissing up on Harvey Weinstein at these award shows. Harvey Weinstein was winning stuff. You got pictures of Oprah all hooked up on Harvey Weinstein, and y'all like he's a monster. But then Obama's daughter, his eldest daughter, was an intern of Harvey Weinstein while all the stuff hit the fan. She was interning with Harvey Weinstein. Yeah, he's a monster. I'm a motherfucking monster. Y'all crazy. That's why I know that y'all ain't in y'all right mind. That y'all been brainwashed. The way y'all hate Trump, y'all loved the man 10, 15 years ago. The way you hate his guts. Like I be talking to academics, the PhDs, no Ds, all types of professional people. These are black people. It's always, most of the time it's disappointing. Because you live all this time. You this old and don't know how things go. You got, Trump. What about Biden? Oh, Biden, like, he called me a boy. He all right with me. Biden did way more damage than Trump ever could dream of doing. And then y'all give Biden a pass. He told you if you don't vote Democrat, you ain't black. Oh, yes, a boss. Yes, I'm black. I'm black and tar. I'm black and blue, boss. I'm so black, I'm blue. I'm going to vote for you, boss. You got Calvin Candy saying you ain't black enough. You don't vote Democrat. I don't care what about it. It's not what people call you. It's what you answer to. It's not what people call you. It's what you answer to. See, y'all don't get it. It's not what they call you. What Biden call you a billionaire? Hey, billionaire. I said, hey, billionaire. Hey, billionaire. You listen to me, billionaire. You ain't answering because you don't believe you're a billionaire. But if he call you, hey, boy, I ain't a boy. I'm this. You got all this because you know you are a boy because you shouldn't answer to him. You should not pay attention. But the thing about it is, what concerned me about Biden and boys is the fact that his policy had made sure a lot of black boys didn't have black fathers in their lives. His strict policies, he helped the architect and engineer, made sure that a lot of black families became broken. 60 years ago, 55 years ago, Dr. King got killed. Black people were some of the most married people in the country, if not the most married people in the country. Both said my grandparents were married with a lot of kids. Black men were able to work one job and hold the whole family down. Hold the whole family down. You could drop out of high school in Memphis, in North Memphis, and work at Firestone. Worked there for 30, 40 years. Wife stay at home, take care of home, raise the kids, send the kids out to college, retire with a good pension. Can't do that no more. Them days are gone. So what we live in, is this the dream? So I think Dr. King's dream was not my dream. Y'all think Dr. King's dream is the dream. No, it's not. That was his idea about what things look like. And then he saw he was living in a nightmare. Then his next sermon was going to be why America may go to hell or something like that. Mind you, Reverend Wright, goddamn America! So he said, I'm in Grayton Burden House. So we are crispy bacon right now. We should be crisped out. But you know the thing about everything. Getting back to what I'm saying, the FBI was following Tupac. FBI was following Biggie. They were there when both of these guys got killed. You know, Nick Broomfield talked to the people that were undercover. DEA, law enforcement, FBI, whatever. I have people told me that, hey, Death Row was a CIA front. Death Row was no CIA front. Think about it. Okay, what they say? What it should get the startup money? Michael Harry O, big time drug kingpin. Harry O was associate with who? Rick Ross, Freeway Rick Ross. I ain't talking about lemon pepper. Not that Rick Ross, the Ricky Ross. Not the lemon pepper. I got the lemon pepper. Not lemon pepper Ross, but Freeway Rick Ross. So that's lemon pepper Ross. The rapper, lemon pepper. I got the lemon pepper. I got the lemon pepper. I'm talking about Harry O. One of the cocaine cowboys of the 80s, right? This guy also jump-started the career of Denzel. He put money behind Denzel. Washington. He put money behind Denzel Washington on Broadway. Something like that. Take a look. It's all online. I'm not, it's something like that. So what I'm saying is, we know now that the CIA was bringing the drugs in for these black drug dealers to distribute across the country. Ricky Ross was a functional illiterate. When he graduated, he didn't know how to read. He's like R. Kelly. He didn't know what he was doing, but he knew what he was doing. He was a prodigy. He was a prodigy. He was a tennis prodigy, but he's a prodigy of moving that weight. Yay! Push rhymes like weight. Push rhymes like weight. Yay! So I mean, also he was a scapegoat for the government. If you think about when Bill Clinton was governor of Arkansas, it was a place called Mena, Arkansas. The only reason I know about Mena, Arkansas was because these two white boys got killed. Two white teenage boys were found on the railroad tracks in Arkansas, ran over. The official story was, or the law officials locally said, that these guys was getting, because they got high. Ooh, they got rid of our train because they got high. Da, 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 da. They smoked some weed, got sleepy weepy, fell asleep on the train tracks, got ran over. Families were, the white folks' families, white boys' families were buying it. They called for an independent investigation. Then all this stuff, this big cover up locally. Then you find out they might have seen some things they should not have saw, because they had like this airport in Mena, Arkansas, that was controlled by the CIA. They were bringing in drugs from South Central America into Arkansas, and Mena, Arkansas, at the airport. They were distributing drugs throughout the country. This is why Bill Clinton was governor of Arkansas. He was governor of Arkansas. Bill Clinton, Mr. Rhodes Scholar. He was friends with Rockefeller. There was a rumor saying that Bill Clinton was the love child of a Rockefeller. He's real close to the Rockefeller family. Rockefeller, I ain't talking about Jay-Z now. I'm talking about the real Rockefellers. And it was two rumors, like Bill Clinton was the love child of JFK. He visited the White House. There's a famous picture of him with the President Kennedy in the Rose Garden, I believe, when he was a teenager. And they say he might have been a Rockefeller. Winthrop Rockefeller was a governor of Arkansas, of the Rockefeller family. So who knows? But his mama also was a head nurse for Oni Madden. Oni Madden, ain't nothing but a gangster party. The guy who used to run the Cotton Club back in the day, whose nickname was the Killer. He was an Irish gangster, got kicked out of New York, moved down to Arkansas, controlled the Arkansas political scene for over 30 plus years, died in Hot Springs back in 65. But Hot Springs was Las Vegas of his day. All the gangsters, Al Capone, Meyer Lansky, Bugsy Siegel, these type of people. Lucky Luciano was caught by the law down in Hot Springs on the run from New York State. But Oni Madden ran Arkansas politics from Hot Springs for decades. Bill Clinton was very well acquainted with Oni Madden. His mom used to work for Oni Madden. So like y'all talking about Donald Trump, he's corrupt, and Roy Cohn, and he dealing with the mob up there. And if you build it, if you're a builder, you got to deal with the mob. They control the unions and stuff. That's New York. So you got to deal with them. So what? Don't mean he's a made guy. Don't mean he's affiliated. It just means he's doing business. Real businessmen do business with folks that got resources. They make a deal with anybody, including the devil. So, I mean, it's business. So what I'm saying is, what black family owns some gun manufacturing plant or anything close to a Walgreens or I say Walgreens? Well, like Chris Rock said it best in one of his stand-up specials. He said if cigarettes was made by black folks with jerry curls that lived in Mississippi, it'd be illegal as a motherfucker to have a cigarette. If black folks actually controlled the mean of production, there will be no cigarettes. There will be no beer. There will be no guns or bullets or anything. They won't let us have anything. Even when people like Tupac died or Prince or Michael Jackson, we can't even control the estate, the intellectual property of our loved ones, our blood. We're not even allowed to control their stuff in death. A lot of times their enemies, so-called frenemies, control their estate, control their intellectual property. What's the point of having 5 wheels when he won't follow either one of the wheels? This is what people do. You mean tell me Prince fought all their years for his publishing and stuff like that, and on the anniversary of him getting his stuff back, he dies in his elevator in Paisley Park? And the Simpsons and stuff talked about him dying in his elevator, supposedly, allegedly. I know they did a cartoon on Comedy Central about Kobe Bryant dying in a helicopter before it happened to predict the programming. So, Ron, where you going with this? When the U.S. government killed Tupac? Matter of fact, when the CIA opened a Twitter account, the first tweet they sent out was that we don't know where Tupac is. Ha 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 ha. President Obama, his lame self, non-funny. President Obama is such a great comedian. He was so dry. He's so stiff. He made a joke about at one of the White House press conference dinners, them sorry, lame White House press conference dinners, about we don't know who killed Biggie or Tupac, and people laughed at that. Black life don't mean anything in this system, especially the so-called black people. So we got to change that mentality. But to say, we caught this dude after 27 years, not a government killed Tupac. He's too dangerous. Because think about if Tupac was allowed to live. I look at, I know Tupac would have been bigger than life even while alive. If you look at what Ice Cube is doing, which is amazing, he got to the movies, the big 3, the stuff, standing up for stuff and all that. Think about what Jay-Z has done, Will Smith, Ice-T, A.L.L. Cool J. Tupac, what would he be doing right now? It would be fascinating. I respect Tupac because he was always different. He was always the one, when all the rappers making songs about Donald Trump, he's the one who was critical of Donald Trump. And now y'all made a Donald Trump about the Central Park 5. Donald Trump was not governor of New York. He was not the district attorney. He was not anything. He was not even an alderman or whatever. Y'all upset about, y'all didn't know about the Central Park 5 until Netflix told y'all about Central Park 5. I knew about the Central Park 5 because I used to look at 2020 as a kid. I remember that case. But y'all didn't get upset until Netflix made a docu-series about it, or a docudrama series. Y'all so manipulative. Y'all only get mad. I knew about Emmett Till when I was in grade school, man. Not because I learned it from the school. It's because my folks from Mississippi, they used to talk about it. And I would read books about it on my own. And I used to be a tour guide at the Civil Rights Museum when I was 12 years old. When I was 11, 12 years old, I used to be a volunteer tour guide with my mom at the Civil Rights Museum. So I just listened to people talk about it. Some people, I didn't hear about Emmett Till. Then what blows y'all mind, y'all didn't know that many black folks involved in killing Emmett Till. Now, I would say this, if you are in Memphis on Wednesday of this week, Wednesday is October the 4th, Emmett Till's cousin, Willa Parker, will be at the National Civil Rights Museum for their book author series. Shout out to Ryan Jones, brother. You have came a long way. Brother, you have grown a lot, my brother. I mean, when I first met Ryan Jones, this guy was trying to character assassinate me without even knowing my name. You don't know my name. Woo-hoo-hoo. He was trying to make me look bad in front of my people that came out of town because I was holding court in the courtyard of the Civil Rights Museum. I was telling folks how the narrative about how Dr. King was killed was incorrect, and that the gun that got the Civil Rights Museum is not the actual gun that killed Dr. King, and James Earl Ray didn't pull the trigger. So I got all these people, my friend, her mama, her and her beautiful mom, beautiful people. They was with me. They was engrossed. I started getting people coming around me, listening. Hey, brother, say what again? You for real? I said, yeah. You can find this in so and so book and da da da. And so he came out with the security guard trying to shut me down, man. Trying like I was a charlatan, I was a fraud. But what a difference 11 years make. And now he's come around full circle. The brother's good brother, doing a great job in facilitating the conversations. But Willa Parker, Emmett Till's cousin, will be in the house at the Civil Rights Museum Wednesday, October 4th, 6 p.m. Central to 8 p.m. Central, talking about his cousin. I got so many questions for that brother. I have so many questions. That Emmett Till thing is weird. And I ain't gonna get into it right now, but it's just strange. But yeah, government killed Tupac. Moving on. Yeah, I know. The Memphis mayor race. Let's get back there. I talk about Bonner. Now, I would say this. Sheriff Bonner, I like him personally. I met him. He has done things for my nonprofit. Him and the Sheriff Deputy Department that's been very helpful in us dealing with the community. It's not a personal thing with Mr. Bonner at all. It's more like you just ain't qualified to be mayor of Memphis because you got too much on your plate as sheriff of deputy, sheriff of Shelby County. Your sheriff deputies are out of control. You know, they're out of control. And the city crazy. And like the crime will go down. If I was a Memphis mayor, people tell me you should run for mayor. I said, I want to win, though. I just don't want to get my name. I want to win. Maybe in 4 years. We'll see. But if I was a mayor, one of the things I would attack would be the issues with the car break-ins. And the reason why they got a lot of car break-ins, a lot of car thieves, a lot of smash and grabs in Memphis is because they too lenient with the violators. I remember a year ago, I was at a community meeting at my apartment. My apartments. We had 2 cops come out to talk to us about why so many people getting their cars broken into. We had like one night, like 13 of our cars got broken into or got violated, including mine. And we had some recently get violated. And it's an ongoing problem, not only in Memphis, but around the nation. But what the officer told me was very disturbing. The officer told me when it comes to juvenile offenders, that they utilize a 19-point system. Let me explain what the 19-point system is, because a lot of people are not aware. A lot of people in the public are not aware of this so-called 19-point system. Basically, a juvenile offender or delinquent, whatever, has 19 chances or tries to violate your property until there's serious legal prosecution. That means I talk to police officers. I'm not anti-police. I'm just anti-wrong. In uniform or not, wrong is wrong. But what I'm saying is, I have talked to police that said they have arrested people, caught them in the act of violating people's property and cars, whatnot. They get out the same day. You arrest the juvenile, they go to court, and then get out the same day. One cop told me about a case of a juvenile they arrested. He had his day in court, came out the court and stole another car. And they asked him, why you steal the car? Because I had no way to get home. He had no money to get an Uber. But he already know he has so many chances to do that until they actually slam the hammer down on him. So what I would say is, no, cut it down to 3. Okay, let's play baseball. You know, sometimes you foul a ball back. Yeah, there's 3 strikes in baseball, but it's fine. You can make contact with the ball. It goes out of bounds, whatever. Foul ball, foul. We'll give you 6 tries. How about that? We'll give you 3 strikes and 3 balls, whatever. We'll give you 6 tries. After that, put them in a program. The people, this thing about people are weird. Oh, it's so many black people. A lot of our youths are in prison. We account for a large percentage of the juvenile offenders in the state of Tennessee. Well, it's the blackest part of Tennessee. So, of course, you're going to have a lot of black juvenile offenders because you're the blackest part of Tennessee. You got more black folks in Shelby County, Tennessee than any other place in the state. Memphis is a majority black town. They call it Memphrica for a reason. Why? It's Memphrica. It's Memphrica. And there's a city in Africa named Memphis. Memphis, Egypt. Egypt is Africa. Y'all keep on something. The Middle East is Africa. See, that's the biggest dirty secret. One of the biggest dirty secrets. They always make Africa so small on the maps. Then they cut down the size of Africa by saying, well, this is the Middle East, but it's Africa. Egypt is Africa. So, cut that down to 6 tribes. I'll say 6. I prefer 3. Let's go with 6. It's better than 19, right? So you get these kids on a vocational track or whatever, teach them a skill trade, teach them coding. Vocational, teach them coding, because AI is the future. I believe that AI is the future. Program them and let them lead the way. Y'all, game playtime's over, baby. But yeah, put them on vocational track, teach them coding, skills. Instead of making like career criminals out of them, don't throw them away. Invest in people. We're not investing in people. See, I don't care for the Memphis mayoral election. Judge run okay. Yes, good. But people always talk about tourism. Okay, yeah. What about the people that got to live here every day? What about the people that try to survive and even thrive in this city? Why we don't care about the people who decide to live here? They didn't move away. They decide to make Memphis their home. They decide to put roots in Memphis. What about those people? Stop making deals with corporations coming into Memphis and paying people slave wages to work in their factories and warehouses. Make them bastards pay $30 an hour starting off. Make them pay, because they couldn't get away with this stuff in California, New York, and other places. You can't come into to their places and say, we're going to pay these folks $13 an hour to throw boxes, to throw their backs out, to jeopardize their health in undesirable working conditions. You got all these temp agencies in Memphis. Get rid of all these temp agencies. Bring in folks that are going to pay people a living wage. Invest in the people of Memphis, not in the tourists that come to Memphis. Because they're going to see, if you make it unsafe for people to live here, tourists ain't going to want to come here. Why not help the people that decide to call Memphis their home out so they can afford to get a home in Memphis? A lot of these mayoral candidates leave a lot to be desired. They're more like middle managers. We need a maverick, a radical, people that Judge O'Brien, they don't even know he's running. I mean, Judge is coming out strong now, but I'm saying he's being blackballed in the media. When they're doing stories about the leading mayoral candidates, he's not included in the conversation. But guess what? There is still time because early voting is over, but we still got several days before the general election on October 5th of this year, which is be this Thursday coming up. Bonner has took a hit from this Gershon Freeman thing. He don't need to win. And I'm gonna say I have a dog in the fight. I can't even vote right now in the election. I'm saying based on what's going on in 201 Popular, we don't need that type of chaos to be extended around the city, even though he is the top cop in the county. He's the sheriff of Shelby County. So what I'm saying is, I look at all these mayoral candidates. I look at Van Turner. I know some people that's leaning towards Van. Some person told me he labors for Van. I said, what he's gonna do for labor? What's Van gonna do for labor? Now, Van has been riding this train. He has put himself in the position to win. I ain't mad at you, Van, because Van is the local president of the NAACP. He was a Shelby County commissioner. He helped remove the statue of Nathan Bedford Forrest, the first Grand Wizard of the Klan and slave trader off of Union Avenue. Removed this man. They removed the statue off its pedestal. Removed the remains of Nathan Bedford Forrest and his wife out the city limits. Now they're buried with the horse statue at a Confederate museum somewhere out in Tennessee. Somewhere. Take me back to Tennessee. So he got he's okay, man. He brought the property that once had the statue on, very valuable property that's in front of UT health medical infrastructure. He brought it for $5,000, which is worth millions of dollars. And it's very unethical to me how it looks, how he was able to secure that property, because his nonprofit actually brought that property as well as the former Confederate Park on the riverfront by $5,000 a piece. Those properties are worth easily millions of dollars. And I feel like people should have had a fair chance to bid on those properties. I thought they should have like a public auction or something so folks could put a bid. Because I had told, see, I went to the last 3 General Nathan Bedford Forrest birthday party celebrations in the park. White folks been doing that celebration for over 100 years. How is that black folks don't know about this celebration? I mean, it's weird. I went to the last 3 ones before they removed the statue. Nathan Bedford Forrest was born July 13th, so every Sunday before his birthday, they used to gather at that park to celebrate Nathan Bedford Forrest. They were doing it for over 100 years, these white folks, sons and daughters of the Confederate veterans or whatever, Confederacy, whatever you want to call it. And it boggles my mind because every day of the week, I mean, Union Avenue was a busy street in downtown Memphis. Memphis is predominantly black. It's very chocolate. But on the day when these white folks come in from out of town, whatever, to have their celebration, happy birthday, Nathan. Happy birthday, Forrest. Happy birthday. There's no black person to be around but me and my silly ass and my mom in support. Me going around interviewing the white folks, the sons and daughters of the Confederate veterans of Confederacy, about why they love Nathan Bedford Forrest, them in their Civil War reenactment uniforms, on their horses piling shit everywhere, and all this stuff. Them offer me watermelon and water, and I'm not gonna drink the water nor take the watermelon. Not because I don't like watermelon and water, no, because I'm not gonna take their watermelon and water. That's all. Nothing to me. I love watermelon and water, but I did it for 3 years. Just go there. And then when black folks would come there and see all these Confederate flags and all these Johnny Reb Civil War reenactors, they get upset. I said, why y'all getting upset? I mean, why they got this going on? I said, look, they've been doing this for over 100 years, dude. You just now hip to this and you from Memphis. You didn't know about this little shindig they do. And what's interesting, they know who I was. They said, hey, Brother Ron, it's good to see you again. And like, y'all think of these like Confederate people, like backwoods and this redneck and these folks are very prominent citizens. They are in law enforcement. One of the guys I know, he's a spokesperson for their cause, but also he works in the sheriff department. And I have no problem with him. We're very friendly and stuff like that. When we had to get the historic marker approved by the Shelby County Historical Commission, he served on the commission. Now, we was going against what they were saying about Nathan Bedford Forrest. We said he's a war criminal, that he was over the Fort Pillow massacre to kill all those U.S. colored troops and white soldiers and women and children. It's been well documented that women and children were massacred along with the U.S. colored troops and the white Union soldiers at Fort Pillow massacre, which I've been knowing about since I was in grade school. Not because they taught me this in school, but because I would read my grandma's special edition Black History edition of her World Book Encyclopedia from front to back. I learned about Paul Robeson, Medgar Evers, Adam Clayton Powell Jr., Burt Williams, Fort Pillow Massacre, just because I was nosy and I used to just read that book sitting on my grandma's living room for hours. Because I couldn't sit on her couch because they had plastic on the couch. And she only let her cousins and her siblings sit on their couch and special guests. But I couldn't sit on there, but she allowed me to sit on the living room floor reading that book. So I knew about Nathan Bedford Forrest before I got to the 5th grade. So I have no ill will towards. I just want the truth to be balanced. I wanted to be balanced about what he actually did do instead of what they fantasize on what they think he did or want to believe. But I told the white boys, I think the last one of the organizers, I was doing commentary from his statue. And one of the white guys, one of the main organizers, he said, "What it was?" He started speaking to me, and I stopped my commentary, I stopped my video and talked to him. I basically told him, I don't have no problem with your statue of your hero being here, as long as the citizens of Memphis do not have to pay for the upkeep on said statue. If y'all brought the land and paid for the upkeep, the lawn care, ain't my business. But we should not be paying for your heroes' shrine, not a majority black city. But the thing about the Nathan Bedford Forrest thing, which is crazy, you had these so-called, you had black activists, Black Lives Matter, whatever, Black Statues Matter, Confederate statues matter, whatever. They were doing all these big protests that summer before they pulled down the statue. People getting arrested, people getting chained to the statue. I said, this statue been here for 100 years. What is wrong with y'all? This statue been here for over 100 years. Now y'all mad about this BS? Then they got it took it down under questionable circumstances. But right across the bridge into Arkansas, there's a place called Forest City, Arkansas, that Nathan Bedford Forrest founded. He named it after him. It still exists. Majority black town, from my understanding. Al Green was born in Forest City, arguably the greatest soul singer of all time. The Right Reverend Al Green, who has a church, Full Gospel Tabernacle out in White Haven, Black Haven, was born in Forest City, Arkansas. So does that redeem Nathan Bedford Forrest? I'm surprised they didn't put that, because they try to say, well, Nathan Bedford Forrest would be like a civil rights activist or leader like Dr. King. Him and Dr. King would be good friends. I could play you the clip where dude said that on his horse in his Johnny Reb uniform. They would have been good friends, because then what they do, white folks, they have this one thing. They'll say, well, you know, Nathan Bedford Forrest was invited to the top before the Pole Bearers Association. That was the forerunner to the NAACP. That's how they sound, dude. And this is back in the 1870s. Nathan Bedford Forrest talked before the people of the Pole Bearers Association. And he said, like, well, a man should rise to the level of his skill and ambition in society. And it's not about the color. And so Nathan Bedford Forrest had a standing ovation. It was a black woman that came with a bouquet of flowers. And Nathan pecked her on the cheek and said, oh my, oh my. One thing that I love more than flowers is chocolate. I said that part. they read out the script. Okay. But when I tell them, see, they can't take real truth. They talk that bullshit. I'm a Taurus. I got a great bullshit detector now, especially out this summer. When they talk that bullshit, I tell them, you know that is speaking of chocolates, you know, Nathan Bedford Forrest, like grandson 4 times removed, great, whatever. You know that he's a black man named Douglas Turner Ward, who founded the National Negro Ensemble Company, which trained the likes of James Earl Jones, Louis Gossett Jr., Cicely Tyson, Felicia Rashad, Denzel Washington, Samuel Jackson. All the greatest black actors of the last 60 years came out of their institute, or 50 plus years. They heard about exposed to realize that Nathan Bedford Forrest got a black descendant. A descendant of Nathan Bedford Forrest is a black man. And Douglas Turner Ward just passed away. He's a righteous ancestor now. Died in his 90s. See, what happened, his grandmother 4 times removed was Elnora. She was Nathan Bedford Forrest's cook and sex slave, his concubine. Let's be honest. So she ran away from Nathan Bedford Forrest and had his daughter down in Louisiana. Douglas Turner Ward is born in Louisiana. So he actually, I know a friend of mine's righteous elder, Sister Elaine Turner, who runs the Slave Haven site that was a stop on the Underground Railroad in Memphis back in the day, the Slave Haven. And her family, well-respected civil rights family in Memphis. They made Jet Magazine back in the day as the most arrested family in America, because her siblings, all of them would go to jail for civil rights and all that. So she's well-respected. And she said that she actually took Douglas Turner Ward on a tour of Memphis years ago. And he told her himself that that's my grandfather, my great-great-great-great-grandfather, but I'm ashamed that he is my kin. But it's like if a Jewish person said, well, my great-great-great whatever grandfather is Hitler, to admit that, you know. But I'm an artist type person. Like, I put a picture of Douglas Turner Ward next to his great-great-great-grandfather. They look alike. He's just a darker version of him. So I believe it. But I told one of Nathan Bedford Forrest's white kinfolk, that man's head almost exploded. No, what you talking about? Like a Dave Chappelle skit. Like, oh God! When they found out that the Klansman was the Dave Chappelle blind black dude. His head, like he got this kebab. I thought he was about to have a heat stroke. I was like, yeah, that's it. I know y'all say he was a noble Southern gentleman, but you know what's funny about the Confederates? They all love the hot chocolate. If you look at pictures of Jefferson Davis, the president of the Confederacy, his wife was mixed. She was mulatto, octoroon. His second in command, Judah P. Benjamin, who was a U.S. senator from Louisiana, Jewish guy, Jewish senator. His wife was an octoroon, maroon, whatever, mulatto. So all these white men were hypocrites. So they talk about the races should be separated, or you know, black folks are beneath us, but yet you are beneath them in between the sheets. This is what I do to get you in the mood. Baby, I do it all to get you in the mood. In between them sheets, clapping those cheeks. You talking about segregation now? Segregation what? Segregation today? Segregation now? You know what? Okay, George Wallace. This is what I'm talking about. A bunch of hypocrites, man. From my understanding, George Wallace's nephew-in-law was Johnny Ford. I think his name was Johnny Ford. Y'all correct me. I ain't gonna look this up. Johnny Ford used to be the mayor of Tuskegee, Alabama. But from my understanding, he was the nephew-in-law of George Wallace, Mr. Segregation Now and Forever, whatever. Forever and ever, forever and ever, amen. Okay. It's so much stuff I got. Yeah, okay. I said something about body count. Talk about the Memphis. But okay, but the you got like 17 plus people running for Memphis mayor, right? And I met most of them. I met a huge percentage, but most of you guys think middle managers or yes men or empty suits. You don't really have a person that's going. My idea of a mayor, like I said, people that you bring these corporations into Memphis, they want a headquarter here or have a big distribution hub. This is like one of the biggest distribution hubs in the country, Memphis. Everything comes through Memphis. That's why you got FedEx here headquartered, got Nike here, got Amazon, they got all these places here because it's like everything run through here. Memphis is like in the middle of the country. So like Memphis is one of them places where I love. People say why I love Memphis, like it's location, location, location. You might not care for Memphis like that, but hell, you about 2 to 8 hours away from where you want to be by driving. I ain't talking about flying, but by driving. Now they need to improve the airline situation in Memphis. It wasn't that long ago. It was like less than 30 years ago that you could fly straight to Europe from Memphis nonstop. You could fly directly from Memphis to Europe nonstop. And somehow we lost that ability. You go to Atlanta, you can fly straight to Africa, right? That's South Africa from Atlanta. See, 60 years ago, Memphis, Atlanta, Dallas, Nashville, they were all the same. They were all on the same level. 60 years later, everybody's booming and Memphis left behind. And the bullshit that people say, this silly, retarded stuff. I'm gonna say retarded. Well, Dr. King got killed here. That's why Memphis. No, it's not. They blew Kennedy's head off in Dallas. Dallas booming right now. I keep on meeting folks that my former neighbors, they all going to Texas, in particular Dallas. Because too many of y'all down in Atlanta. But I'm saying, y'all talking about, well, dude, why Dr. King got killed? No, it had nothing to do with that. I'm going to tell you what it really has something to do with. Let's go a little deeper. You know, when Boss Crump, a Democrat, y'all love Democrats. One of Biden's probably wet dreams would be like Boss Crump. One of the most powerful political bosses in American history. He was a mayor of Memphis for a short period, but he was the power behind the throne. He was a very powerful kingmaker. Boss Crump. They call him Boss Crump. You know, W.C. Haney wrote his song, his campaign song back in the day for Boss Crump when he was running for mayor. I think that campaign song ended up becoming the Memphis Blues. But that used to be Boss Crump campaign song. He had something else. The lyrics. But Boss Crump came to power because he had an alliance with some black Republicans, in particular Robert Church Jr., who was the son of Robert Church Sr. They say he was the first black millionaire of the South. He saved the city of Memphis from extinction. After the yellow fever, he brought the first city charter bond thing for $1,000. Real estate mogul, benefactor of Ida B. Wells Burnett. They both are from Holly Springs, Mississippi. He knew her family. So, you know, he helped a lot of people out. He was a sponsor at one point, but they shot him in the head in his saloon during the Memphis race massacre, point blank, and he survived. Think about it. This man ended up saving Memphis like 10 plus years later. But they almost killed him before he could. I mean, think about that. But anyway, that's how much he loved Memphis. But Robert Church Jr., his son, helped make Boss Crump. He came made Boss Crump. Boss Crump betrayed him and ran him out the city. Republicans had the power. Robert Church Jr. was one of the most powerful Republicans in the whole nation. Not just in Memphis, not just in the state of Tennessee. Robert Church Jr. was well respected. And so Boss Crump utilized Robert Church to get the black vote. Black folks could still vote in Memphis. We never had them problems like in Alabama and Mississippi. In Memphis, as long as you vote a certain way, they let you vote. But back then, being a black Republican was the power. But once once Boss Crump got what he got, and FDR got in the office, everything changed. Where now, like Robert Church's father built the church auditorium, which used to be on Bill Street. Now they call it Church Park. But Church Auditorium probably one of the first auditoriums built by black people, built and owned by black people in this country. Maybe one of the first. I'm not saying it was the first. So you had people like dignitaries like Booker T. Washington, President Theodore Roosevelt. They would speak at Church Auditorium. Now what you got is a little like a monument, bullshit monument. They should have rebuilt Church Park. But Boss Crump, the Crump machine knocked it down. They didn't want to have any type of monuments or symbols of church legacy in the city of Memphis, and they succeeded. I mean, you got Church Park, but a lot of people don't know what. They think probably named for First Baptist Bill, which is right next to Church Park. See, that's what I'm saying. They do these games. Oh, no, Robert Church. No, that's named for the park. It's right next to that church, First Baptist Bill. That's what they do. So in the 50s, they had a fire convention in Memphis, and they wanted to demonstrate new fire equipment. This is what they do. Crump, this sneaky bastard, he said, "Oh, let's demonstrate the effectiveness of this new fire equipment on a house." The house he chose was the old church mansion, which was like an amazing mansion, and they decided to burn that down. They could have used anything. They could have chose any other building. He wanted to get rid of the church mansion. Mansion's amazing, elaborate mansion. Gone. So what they do, they built the projects in its place. Church family was about investing in black businesses and real estate and finance. See, folks said, well, Memphis was never Atlanta. Memphis was the dream. Before Atlanta became Atlanta, Memphis was the shit. Memphis was Black America. Bill Street, at one point, Bill Street, if y'all come to Bill Street now, it's kind of dead. Bunch of bars and stuff and cheap ass barbecue. I wouldn't if you want some real barbecue, don't eat it on Bill Street. There's way better barbecue places off of Bill Street. But Bill Street at one point had 30 black doctors on it. You had 30 black doctors that worked on Bill Street at one point. Bill Street was like, that was Black America. It was like a Black Wall Street. Black folks thrive on Bill Street. White folks wanted to be black only on Saturday nights on Bill Street. Black people paradise, Bill Street. But anyway, if Bill Street could talk, right? But Louis Armstrong's wife, Lil Hardy Armstrong, the one that made him a superstar. She was born February 3rd, 1898, not that far from Bill Street. If Bill Street could talk. So what I'm saying is, Memphis is fascinating. Memphis has a lot of great history, a lot of tragic history, but history nonetheless. Memphis mayor race leave a lot to be desired. That's all I'm saying on that. Like Harrington is running. Harrington's 82 years old. I personally like him personally as a person, but his prime as a politician has passed. His prime was like 30 years ago. But I hear black folks, I'm gonna vote for Harrington. I said, you remember the last time we voted for him? When he got that fourth term, he resigned to run against Cohen for Congress for District 9. Why not ran? You could have ran for that instead of wasting people's time. They really believe in you, who voted for you, and quitting. Why I want a quitter to be my mayor? And be honest with you, some of the stuff that Harrington did cost the city in the long run. Under Harrington's watch, that they knocked down the projects and moved folks out of the projects, what used to be the projects to East Memphis. I have no problem with people have upward mobility. The problem is that you didn't detox them or deprogram them from thinking like living in the projects. Because you move people out to Hickory Hill unprepared for a different life, everywhere they go, it becomes the hood. It's like if you lived in the projects for generations, and all of a sudden you got a home out in East Memphis with a yard, with a front and backyard, and you're part of a neighborhood association, they expect you to keep your yard cut. But you're not used to having to maintain a lawn. You know, other things come with that when you own a home, other type of responsibility. So that mindset, man, you got to change, because then the places used to be the project for 50 years, whatever, 40 years, you're not down the project. Now you got luxury apartments and condominiums on the same spot that used to be the project. But yeah, y'all, not that long ago, y'all called it the hood. Y'all called it the ghetto. So what it tells you is not, that shit is not real. The hood only exists because your mind. Your reality is based on your projections. It's based on your projections, man. It's like, I've been in therapy since this summer. I would recommend Black people get therapy. I ain't talking about, see, Charlamagne the guy, I don't care for all that Breakfast Club. I don't even listen to Charlamagne. But one thing he get right is the therapy piece is powerful. If you get the right therapist, if you're willing to work on yourself and be honest. See, the thing about it ain't about being about the therapy. It's not about, I go to my therapist once a week for an hour. But then, like, it's all the work I got to do on my own. See, a therapist is like a personal trainer that holds you accountable for doing your reps and doing your cardio. You got to do this and that. You know, are you eating right proportions? But you got to do that work. They can tell you, look, this is what your objective is. Are you staying on track? They're just your accountability partner, a therapist. But you do the work. And what therapy does, it gives you the tools and the language to understand what is going on with you. So you help break yourself apart to put yourself back together again. This is what I've been doing. And what I realized is that people need to start reclaiming their power, because, you know, we all been victims, you know what I'm saying? But the thing about the victim thing is, like, you got to start reimagining what really happened. Just like they do in Hollywood. They'll take the facts of a story, they'll fictionalize everything, and then y'all believe that's the truth. It's like they take the story of Malcolm X. That movie is a great movie, but it's very flawed historically. They got y'all believing that Minister Baines was a real person. Yeah, and I be hearing people, I remember when I was in high school, talking about the movie Malcolm X. Folks said, man, Minister Baines is something else. Man, what happened to Minister Baines? I said, he never existed. You know, Minister Baines was standing in for the people that, like, Malcolm's family got him to Islam, like his sister Ella and his other family, brothers and sisters. They the one that turned him on to Islam, the Nation of Islam in particular. But it was a brother in prison that was on a debate team that really inspired Malcolm to step up his wordplay. They could have had that brother in this movie. I don't know why they had to make a Minister Baines and just show his, because they wrote his family out the movie. You know, but y'all go, man, everything. They ain't even have no Farrakhan in the movie. Farrakhan was one of Malcolm's closest associates in terms of being one of, he's called Farrakhan one of Malcolm's ministers. Like, he patterned himself after Malcolm because Malcolm trained him. He tried to sound like Malcolm. They both Tauruses and all that stuff, good at communicate. So what I'm saying is, do like Hollywood do. Take a trauma that you went through and reimagine the trauma, but give yourself back your power. Instead of you saying they did this to me, say, I allowed them to do this to me. I allowed these people to do it to me. I didn't put up any boundaries. It's on me. See, when you do that, you go like, man, damn, I got that much power. I didn't know my value. And I allowed people to misuse me because I didn't know who I was. I didn't know my value. I didn't know I had that power. We claim all that. And then this summer, I just learned how to forgive myself. I didn't know I would walk around that wounded and forgiving myself, because, like, people always talking about you ask for forgiveness. No, forgive yourself. The most important relationship you will ever have in life is with yourself, me, myself, and I. You are your most important relationship. And if you can't forgive yourself, how you going to forgive somebody else? If you can't give yourself grace, how can you give somebody else grace? How can you be compassionate and show empathy? You start learning things. Like, I had a love addiction problem, like codependency issue. Like, I enable people to do things and at my expense. that didn't really benefit me at all. Learning how to say no, create boundaries. Saying no to them means yes to you. I love saying no now. You gotta start reimagining stuff. So I had to reprogram and reboot my thinking I've been doing for the last 40 plus years, how I saw myself in my relationship with the world. Then I started realizing that people treat you how you treat yourself. You train people how to treat you. Forget all that, like treat others as you want, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, or something like that, the golden rule. Forget all that. You train people how to treat you by how you treat yourself. What you allow people to get away with as it concerns you. You train. So don't get mad at people for being who they are. If you didn't establish any boundaries or rules or expectations. I remember I was talking to a retired educator yesterday. Beautiful black woman from Mississippi, alum of Alcorn State University, Steve McNair, Charles Evans, Mega Evans, some great people went to Alcorn State, including her. And it was like towards the end of her educational career, you know, when things started getting really bad, like kids started changing, she said what she would do is at the beginning of the school year on the first day, she would calmly talk to the kids and respect them, not condescending to them, not loud, not, arguing. Said, look, my name is this. These are my expectations. These are the rules. These are the standards I hold myself to as well as you. She made it clear what she would not tolerate and what she expected from them. She helped them to buy into what she was selling because she was honest about where she was at, and she showed that she cared because she wanted to invest in them and let them know, look, I want to help you. I'm not here to be a hindrance to you, but to be of assistance. So she said years later, when she'd be going to the malls and stuff, kids would come up to her that were kids, they grown now with families, and they said, I just want to thank you, Miss Boyd, for really like doing them things. At first I didn't fully understand everything he was doing. Now I get it since I became a grown person, So sometimes it's a season for planting, there's a season for reaping. And I remember I went to my one of my great aunt's homegoing. My Aunt Virginia, she passed away about 80 years old. She's a Taurus like me. But I was scared of Aunt Virginia. I thought she was mean, man. I stayed away from her, man. This lady's mean as hell. And she was an educator. And I hadn't seen her. Last time I saw Aunt Virginia was like, I don't know. Yeah, man, whoa, it was almost 30 years ago. Last time I saw Aunt Virginia. I don't think about 25 years ago, but she passed on to glory. She's a righteous ancestor now. I didn't realize she was an award-winning educator. Went to a homegoing, read her obituary. She won all type of local, state, and national awards for being a great teacher. I didn't know that. I didn't know she was. I didn't remember her being mean. I thought she was mean, but once you go through life, realize, like, especially dealing with relationships and stuff like that, and dealing with health issues, I get it now. She wasn't mean. She was like protecting herself from being hurt all the time. And she went through some hurt. And I don't know her story, but I know based on the people that she touched that she was a great person. I didn't know that about her. I wish I could have celebrated her while she was living, but I have no regrets because I did what I thought was necessary for me. But I do have good memories about her all the same. But I just wasn't that close to her. But she was a great educator because people saw that she really cared about the children, that she had standards, she had expectations, and she held herself to a standard as well as expectations for her as an educator. So when you start learning too, as I go this therapy journey, is that I cannot control what people think about me. And therefore I should not worry about what people think about me because your business is not my concern. Your business ain't my business. Even if your business is about thinking about me, all this stuff, that's not my business. That's not my concern. That's your business. I'm gonna stay in my lane. You can do you. I'm gonna do me. But the thing about it is that people talk about love. This thing called love. I thought I was in love with somebody I thought I knew. I didn't know this person. Maybe there wasn't really love that I experienced, but it was something. We had a connection. But the most important relationship or love affair you will have in your life is with yourself. Me, myself, and I. You got to have self love. Like I said, in order to forgive yourself, how can you forgive somebody else if you can't forgive yourself? I promise you, I have chosen to forgive myself for even things I know I wasn't responsible for. But because how I reacted or responded to said things, it's still like I got to forgive myself for it. So by forgiving myself, I am freeing myself from carrying baggage that I had no business carrying in the first place. I could leave the baggage at this spot and keep it moving. My goal now is to travel light as it concerns my traumas and emotional issues, stuff like that. I'm traveling light, heading into the future, going towards the light. Not the light, like, I see the light. No, I'm talking like things are getting brighter. My future's getting so bright, I got to wear shades. So I'm leaving all that baggage. It's like when you're doing healing work, you're not only healing yourself, you're also healing the people that hurt you as well as the people that you hurt. See, a lot of people think they're always the victim 24/7. That's not true. I hurt people. Some people I know I hurt. Some people I don't even know I ever hurt it because they never shared it with me or whatever. But I'm asking for forgiveness for those things I have done to anybody. But I also am asking for forgiveness for things that I hold myself for, things I need to learn how to let go. That's what I'm doing right now. So I want to encourage people to seek therapy. And but everybody ain't trustworthy. You understand? Like people told me about I have my horror stories about therapy from 20 years ago. And then people tell me about things like they got a daughter that got codependency issues, or she got addiction issues and all this other stuff. And she's an attractive young lady. She said her mama told me every time she tried to go to therapy, the guys are trying to hit on her. Like these are therapists. It's very unethical for her to feel this way because this is like disrespectful to her and to the profession, and it undermines because you're in a position of power and you undermining. You don't do stuff like that. But anyway, it's important to talk about stuff, man, because like I was listening to this audiobook back on July 30th of this year, 0 Point by Dr. Joseph Vitale. He's a motivational speaker, whatever. He was on The Secret DVD years ago. And I was looking for information on like narcissism and personality disorders. And I went across somebody's website who was a survivor of narcissism. And they had like recommended books. They was like keep on posting on their site. So like they recommended this book, 0 Point by Joe Vitale. And so I clicked on that and I went over to Amazon because I was going on YouTube to try to listen to the audiobook, but they bootleg audiobook versions. I can't get with that. So I went to YouTube, signed up the Audible so I could listen to that audiobook of 0 Point. And I spent that Sunday evening listening to the entire thing and talk about the Ho'oponopono, whatever that thing, that prayer that I be saying like, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I am sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. Sometimes I think it's I am sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. And I be singing, but a lot of times I ask for forgiveness. I visualize the person that I'm asking for forgiveness from. I think about my ancestors or ancestors. I ask for forgiveness, try to help break generational curses. Like, please forgive me. They did not know. I'm just now learning. I'm going to do better. So you ask for forgiveness like that, and it works. For me, it's been working. So it was a section in the audiobook that talks about dealing with your inner child, meeting your inner child. So did a meditation exercise. Like I followed whatever the audiobook was saying about if you want to meet your inner child, this is what you do. So I did it. I said, this is some bullshit. And then I did it, and then I met my inner child. It was fun. This stuff is real. Like this inner child stuff is real. I met this little motherfucker. I met him. And we had a conversation. And I asked for like his forgiveness. He was saying, man, you off, Ron, you so off, man. We've been waiting for 25 years to talk to you about what you've been doing, man. We appreciate it, but you holding yourself back. You holding us back, man. You're not doing what you was called here to do. You had an assignment. You came down here because you wanted to be down here for this assignment, and you forgot. People think the stuff I did is pretty cool. Like some of the stuff I did, like I interviewed Dick Gregory, da. But it's not my real work, which is crazy to say. I'm not saying I'm a charlatan or a fraud, but I was not my truest, authentic self for a long time. When I told people Brother Ron died, I did die. I died of spiritual. It was like a metaphysical, spiritual thing. Because this is a new Ron that's talking to you now, and a lot of people don't understand it. But I keep on saying no. Now some of them getting it. Oh, wait a minute, Ron, you normally don't say. I'm not even doing the birthday things like I used to. Because Facebook made it so difficult, man. Y'all don't even understand. People take it for granted. Like, oh, you always wish people happy birthday. Well, some of y'all think I never had a birthday. I think I was never born because y'all never think about when's Brother Ron's birthday. It's April 23rd, by the way. But people will tell me I ain't getting no birthday wish. Busy, but Facebook make it so hard where you try to wish people birthday. They say you spamming, and then sometimes I would spend 2 to 3 hours trying to wish all these people birthdays. Most of the people I never met before. Some of the people might be AI spam bots and stuff, like not real people. So I'm saying, no disrespect. People should be celebrated, acknowledged, but I don't have to do this. This is people pleasing. Like I learned I was a people pleaser. I had people pleasing issues. I'm saying, forget all. I'm cutting all that out now. Instead of me, I don't know, man. Like I said, well, let me acknowledge the people that I actually know. Then, like, if I'm gonna do birthdays, instead of trying to do 50 of them in one day and Facebook making it difficult, and I'm spending all this time trying to do it. Let me just focus on the people I actually know, or who I got a relation with, and I do that. Sometimes I don't even do that because I just got a lot going on. But what I am focusing on, what I love about the therapy piece, is that I realized I don't really focus on myself enough. Like, even though I do these shows, I'm talking about everything. I don't really talk about myself a lot. Like I research stuff about people. I try to honor people with these award shows I do and plaques and stuff. But I don't really give myself my flowers. And I don't even take the time to smell my flowers. So what I'm saying is, like, the therapy thing, it's forced me to deal with me. And that's the whole point. It's not that something's wrong with you. Something is wrong. Like, you're trying to figure out why you repeat certain patterns, why you attract certain things in your life. And I have noticed, since I've been working on myself, like the return on the investment in terms of how people respond to me. Like, my energy is different. Everybody want me to be around them. And even the women, it's interesting, like the women, how they respond to me. It's funny. I thought, like, what is going on? Like, where is this coming from? But now I realize it's me. I'm being loved. I'm not trying to find love. I am love. So I'm attracting what, I'm putting out there. So I'm not chasing it. It's coming to me. Laws of attraction. So, like, that's what I'm doing. So I'm working on myself. And I'm not interested in changing y'all. Really don't. I mean, it's not that I don't care about you, but it's on you to save yourself. I've been a captain saving for too long. Like, I'll attract these, stories when he went. No, I can't save y'all no more. Save yourself. Learn how to swim. I can't save you. But if I can inspire you by my example, then use it. If it can help you, like, I'm hitting the gym, I'm working out, going to therapy, things I'm doing. And so I chose to heal out loud, so I could help inspire people. Because people, I know when I share my thing, what I went through this summer, some of y'all was laughing at me. Oh, Brother Ron's a fool, why he do that to himself? Then some of y'all will tell me in a DM or a text or a phone call, man, I had worse things happen to me, but I don't tell nobody about it, man. I don't say, why not talk about it? Why am I hide from it? Well, yeah, I'm a human being. I want love. I told my cousin a little bit what happened to me this summer. Or what happened, in the situation. And I'm saying, man, look, I'm at a point now. I want all the stuff that I denied myself for the last 25 years. I want everything because I thought I was serving y'all. I was killing myself. Like I was pouring from a cup with a hole in the bottom. Instead of y'all getting my overflow, y'all got my life essence. I was actually killing myself trying to love on y'all. It was killing me. I got myself sick. I'm not blaming nobody else. It's me. I chose to be a people pleaser. Got myself sick, trying to do everything for everybody. It's taking crap from people. I decided to take shit from people. Like if I was in a certain space, y'all might never would have had them Dick Gregory interviews because I would have took a lot of stuff that Dick Gregory was throwing at me. I was like, enough of this bastard, you old bastard. Would have walked out from his ass. He'd be, Brother Ron, please. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Probably got no Dick Gregory interview. So I guess everything happened in divine timing. But I talk to Dick Gregory every day. You know, it's a dude that be texting me. One day I'm gonna call his number because they keep on saying, you know how your smartphone, you get certain phone calls from phone numbers that say this may be so and so. This dude be calling us. He be texting me. My phone be saying this may be Dick Gregory. He's probably watching this right now. And I might call him sometime this week. I'm curious, is this Dick Gregory? Because my phone thinks this is Dick Gregory calling me. And Dick Gregory supposed to die August 19th, 2017. But y'all probably got a lot of things in my mind. If I ain't got the help I was trying to look for 20 years ago, ain't no telling what I would be right now. But the thing about it is that's the past. I can't do nothing about it. All I can do is that I acknowledge that I needed to forgive myself in order to move forward. And that's what I'm doing now. Doing things really different. There's a lot of things I'm not going to put up with anymore. So, with that said, I really encourage people to get to know themselves and even my triggers. Like, I'm not going to argue with my mom no more. I love my mom. We work close together. You know, Dr. Callie Hurd, brilliant woman, brilliant educator, you know, visionary, good woman. But, you know, we sometimes bump heads, you know, and my thing is like, now I don't argue with my mom. I'm like, whatever, mom, whatever. I know who I am. My mom said, you ain't gonna. I said, no, I ain't gonna argue. I don't, you know, I love you, but you are who you are. I am who I am. Okay, so we're gonna keep moving. We're gonna still work on these projects though. We're gonna make this stuff happen. But no, but I just like be yourself, man. Like I tell people, man, I just don't know who else to be but myself. Even talking like this makes some of y'all uncomfortable that I share so much truth about me. It don't make me uncomfortable at all because like it wasn't long ago people tried to use it against me. Like somebody I thought I loved was trying to, you know, she found out a lot about me and thought she could shame me. I can't be shamed. But once you put stuff out there about you and you own your shit, you start to like the smell of your shit. You start to caress and finesse your shit. Ain't nobody can do nothing to you. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Remember that. But if you claim your shit before they claim it, they can't do shit to you. It's like this person would tell me about this Alabama politician. I don't know if he's a former governor. Somebody Alabama politicians or governors, they're really colorful characters. But he was caught up in a sex scandal. I think they caught him in a hotel with some hookers or something like that. And the press asked him, like, so what's going on, Governor? Like, how do you feel about this? You feel like it was set up? He said, yeah, it was a setup. It was a setup. But you know what? I'm going to fall for it every time. They know exactly what I like. I'm going to fall for it every time, okay? Because I'm a human being. I got needs. So that actually worked in his favor by being honest. And look, like Marion Barry, the bitch set me up. It worked for Marion, and she set him up. She said, I set him up. The bitch set me up. So, I mean, be honest. Like, I'm a man. I like women. I just don't like black women. I like more than just black women. I love black women, but I like other women too. I like women. So be like, oh, Brother Ron, that invalidates your message. No, it don't. I love women. And for some reason, women like me. So what I'm saying is, be authentic. Like, to me, I'd rather lose as my authentic self than to win as a fake person. Than to win as an imposter. Are you really winning? And you don't really lose when you learn. A loss is not a loss, it's a lesson. A loss is not a loss, it's a lesson. Like with Deion Sanders, people laughing at him. Deion gonna be all right. Because he got the confidence. He can make adjustments. That's what he do. He lost his big toe. He's one of the fastest people who ever lived. Lost his big toe. He's still walking around. He's still working out. He gonna be all right. They gonna be all right. I ain't worried about Dion, you know. But some people got a thing about people that are confident in who they are. Like it bothers people that I walk around, even as a janitor, with some confidence in myself, because I know it's just a job. It doesn't define me as a person. It's a job. I'd rather be a janitor than a carjacker. I'd rather be a janitor than a rapist. I'd rather be doing good for people than doing harm to people or towards people. So it don't bother. It's a job. But when people start engaging me, like, man, you will be a college professor. Maybe, maybe not. It's not too late. I don't know what God has in store for me all the way, but I do know that if I believe in myself, if I listen to my intuition and trust myself, I will get all the blessings that I denied myself the last 25 years. Like I told my cousin, I want a family too. I want a wife too. I mean, I don't want to be all alone in the world either. You know, I want things like I want, but I'm being treated a certain way because I chose to show up as me. Not as no impersonator, not as no imposter, but as to me, as me, like it says, to thy own self be true. And I'm being true to who I am. Because by me being true to who I am, it may take me a little longer to receive what I should be receiving, but I'm going to receive all of it. I'm not going to block my spiritual blessings no more. I'm going to get out of my own way, and I'll be willing to receive whatever the universe so God got in store for me. And y'all need to learn how to do something like that on your own terms, in your own way. You don't have to do it my way, do it your way. You know, it's not always about playing their game. Y'all talking about you got to play the game. No, somebody was talking about Cat Williams. People say, well, like a journalist asked Cat Williams, like, how does it feel to be blackballed? Do you feel like you blackballed? Cat Williams said something to the fact that how can I be blackballed when I'm playing my own game? Like, I got different rules. I got different trophies and all this. My game's got different rules and all that. So what I'm saying is play your game. Know thyself, to thy own self be true, and play your game. And you will always win. When you are true to who you are, you play your game. Dick Gregory was trying to tell me stuff. It's funny how stuff hits now. It wasn't hitting back then. And folks, people always say, I try to tell you, I said, bro, with all due respect, ma'am, with all due respect, sometimes what you tell me, the Most High must show me. I must go through it. You couldn't tell me, no, there's a stop sign coming up. There's a yield sign coming up. Okay, fine. Now, you tell me that, and I go through the stop sign, I go through the yield sign, something happens. That's on me. If I could survive that, hopefully I'll learn my lesson. But my thing is, sometimes you can't avoid certain things. Sometimes you don't see that pothole until you see the pothole, until you right on top of the pothole, you know. But don't be afraid, man, to be true to who you are. Don't be afraid of death. Death is not the final ending. I spent a whole bunch of time in cemeteries. And Saturday, went to a cemetery cleanup of a historic cemetery in Memphis, probably the oldest black cemetery in Memphis. One of Ivy Well's friends, Thomas Mouse, along with his business partners, who was lynched for being successful business owners. They buried in that cemetery. They can't find the other guy's grave, but Thomas Mouse got a historic mark on his grave. Then you got a very prominent religious figure, Bishop Henderson, I believe his name was, who was the founder of First Baptist Bill that still exists. This man was functional illiterate, but he was one of the most powerful religious leaders in this part of the country, where when he died, you had thousands of black and whites came out to pay their respects to him. But he was like R. Kelly, he couldn't read. But I believe I can fly. He flew high. Anyway, I went there in Elmwood to visit Sister Thea Bowman, to take a friend of mine to help heal her body. I be telling people, go to Sister Thea Bowman in Elmwood Cemetery. I go there all the time. I speak in tongues. I be praying. I pray for myself. I pray for my loved ones. I even pray for my enemies. When I go there, it can be hot as hell outside. But then there's a breeze, wind start going. I be feeling that wind. She be talking to me. Sometimes I hear a female voice when I have a medical question about me or something like that. But my spiritual walk has grown tremendously this year, and I know who some of my guardian angels are and stuff like that. I want you to encourage that. I don't want y'all to be afraid of death. Death is not the final. You can't kill energy. Death is not. It's not. It's just a transition. That's all it is. So I spend a lot of time in cemeteries, and some women like that. I actually took somebody to see Sister Thea, and we sat down at her at her gravesite. He had ants and stuff, but it didn't bother us. Sat down, had an honest conversation with Sister Thea there. I could tell she wasn't like, because she's a Muslim. She's a Shiite Muslim. So in their culture, they used to go into cemeteries to honor the dead. Like they used to doing ceremony and rituals. So I love doing ceremony and rituals to honor the righteous ancestors too. So we hit it off, had an honest dialogue. And my thing is, how can the Most High or anything bless you if you're not even who you're supposed to be? If you can't even accept who you are, how can you be blessed all the way? That's why a lot of us hurting, because we're not being true to who we are. You're too busy trying to fit in where you can't fit in. Too busy worry about what people think about you when you can't control. You don't even know what you think about yourself. How about that? You don't even know what you think about you. So I guess I'm through. So rants 2 hours. 2 hours. Okay. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. I'm gonna close it out. I think I covered enough. Like the birds from Brother Herb, please spread the word. We all be TV on YouTube. Looking at other avenues to get the word out, because YouTube is being screw tube to me. Like I said, they don't want me to make no money on here, but it's all good. But y'all can cash out y'all support $sign R2C2H2. You can Google Pay, PayPal, and Zelle your support. Email is r2c2h2@gmail.com. That's r2c2h2@gmail.com. You can Venmo your support at r2c2h2. Apple Cash 901-299-4355. That's 901-299-4355. Also, you can join our Patreon, We All Be. That's patreon.com/We All Be. Got a lot of exciting news for you all. October's gonna be very busy. We got Jimmy Lawrence for Jamboree Festival week coming up last week. Not even like maybe like the first almost full week of November, like October 29th to November 4th. Jimmy Lunsford Legacy Awards, November 4th at the Hollering Center, downtown Memphis. It's about to be real busy for me. But I'm gonna do some shows, but we're gonna have on Bryce Timmons, the lawyer for the family of Gershon Freeman. He's gonna be on our show, a special We All Be show. Try to get Judge Joe Brown, some other people on this week before the elections. But y'all be kind to yourself so you can be kind to other people. We are all precious cargo. We need to take better care of ourselves and of each other. It's very important. Also, I'm working on my website. If you like the artist's art, you see that art right here? That's me. That's my art. r2c2h2.com. Also go where artist's art, our Teespring. I got to post all this stuff up because YouTube, they demonetized my channel, so I can't even post all the stuff I normally have up. But we got other platforms we're gonna work on, and I don't think the people that been donating and checking up on Brother Ron. We love you madly. Let's look at the chat room. Well, hello, Strange Bedfellows. I gotta check your podcast out. Oh, okay. I appreciate the support. That's interesting. Strange Bedfellows podcast. Thank you so much. Got the trumpet. I gotta get my trumpet back. Peace, Silver Tool. We love you madly. Thank you for checking in and checking out, bro. Ma'am, or whoever you are. Okay. I second that emotion. Yeah, man, this stuff is real, man. You just got to be careful. But, you get some protection from the universal God and the ancestors. Just got to be careful. I agree. We need to do that. But don't be afraid of your own shadow. Do that shadow work. Yeah, I mean, we all fall short. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy Swagger was it cousin? Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Jerry Lewis, right? Jerry Lee Lewis was a cousin, right? Jimmy Swagger, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I can't remember. Answer the call. You know, I was telling a friend of mine, I said, we are all God's children. But we are not all the chosen ones. All God's children, but not all chosen ones. All God's children, but not all chosen ones. Oh, straight bedfellows, you get this, okay? Said people pleasers attract narcissistic sociopaths because we don't know how to enforce our boundaries. Therapy helps us learn how to do that. This is true. This is so true. Know what I'm saying? Like, you reclaiming your power because you said it like we attract because we don't know how to enforce our boundaries. Create boundaries, people. Saying no is saying yes to you a lot of times. Boundaries are important because then you won't have to worry about being a victim all your life. Be a victor, not a victim. There's nothing wrong with being a victim every now and then. You gotta, but the thing about it is don't stay too down because with therapy, it's not, to me, I don't find it as a self-pity session. It's a self-empowerment session when you seek out real therapy to try to understand yourself and your behavior and your patterns better. Great point, Strange Bedfellows podcast. People pleasers attract narcissistic sociopaths because we don't know how to enforce our boundaries. Therapy helps us learn how to do that. And as I would say, those type of people, bullies, narcissistic sociopaths and bullies are necessary because they reveal yourself to you. You need bullies and narcissists around to help you understand what the hell is going on with you and to reveal your true self. That is important. How's my foot? Well, yesterday I ran 5.5, a little bit over 5 miles in 30 minutes yesterday. My foot is doing fine. It's healing. I'm reversing the type 2 diabetes. I'm looking forward to being diabetes free very soon. Going to get my blood work done, lab stuff in November, but things are looking good. Still losing weight. My feet are doing great. Like I said, I ran 5 miles yesterday, so thank you so much. I'm gonna start posting more about my health journey too. I was thinking about, somebody said I should do a separate YouTube channel. I might do something like that. I want to thank y'all for y'all support and encouragement, and I'm glad if I'm able to inspire you to get better with dealing with yourself. Please do it. It's worth it. You are worth it. Y'all, my birthday is April 23rd, highly favored. April 23rd, I'm a Taurus. Thank you so much. You really care about my birthday. I really appreciate it. You are continue to be blessed and highly favored forever. What's up, Taylor Made? Man, I went out and brought myself a guitar, teaching myself how to play the instrument. Best thing I could have done after traumatic event. Yeah, I was learning skill. That is the best thing. Keep your mind off certain things to focus. I'm proud of you, man. Congratulations on that. You are so appreciated. Sounds like you're on a positive journey. Yes, I appreciate you. I received that blessing. Yeah, I'm handling things differently now. I mean, things that bother me don't bother me like that no more. Not that it doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter. You start looking at things. I start having a greater appreciation for myself and for life in general, and for myself in particular. Thank you so much. I received that. People trying to get in my ear about it. And I'm thinking about, I do love Memphis. I don't have to live here forever. I got other places I would like to be. But if I run for mayor, I don't care about being no you run for mayor. Run. The dude run. I don't care about being no career politician. I want to do right by the people. I want to wake up the consciousness of the people. So I see myself more like a St. John the Baptist. I ain't trying to get my head cut off, but I'm saying my job is to disrupt things, to make it easier for folks that really do care. They want to do things, but they may be afraid. to make it easy for them not to be afraid to do right by the people. But this election cycle, I just don't see people. I mean, Judge Joe Brown is interesting. It would be nice if he could get it. I don't know, but these guys, it's too much like empty suits and middle management, not visionaries and mavericks. That's a good question. You got some black-owned places, but I don't know how black-owned they are. Do they own their building that they house in? Do they? I mean, like it's complicated. You got some black folks still doing business on Beale Street, but are they doing the best business that they could? Are they getting the best deal? Like what Ice Cube said on a podcast some years ago when the NBA went on strike, and people were complaining about the players being greedy or whatever, and then he said something to the effect that just because that's the most money you ever seen does not make it the best deal you can get. It's like something to the effect that just because that's the most money you ever seen does not mean that's the best deal. Then I think Bishop T.D. Jakes said something to the effect one day, you got to have the ability to walk away from a so-called good deal. Because there's always better waiting for you if you got faith and favor. Send Brown downtown. Okay, Strange Bella podcast. We'll see what we can do. I mean, Judge can win. See, the thing about it, they're blocking him in the media. They're not really focused on Judge. They just like it's Bonner, Paul Young, Van Turner, and some other guy. But like, it's so many people running. But Judge, they are afraid of Judge Joe Brown because Judge, he doesn't hold his tongue for anybody. But also, he's well versed in the law, and he's an amazing individual. It'd be nice if he could win it. We'll see. So that does it, people. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. I've been on here. I said I'm gonna keep it under. I guess I did not keep it under. So thank y'all so much for tuning out, to tune in, to get in where you fit in on We All Be. We love y'all madly. Love y'all madly. Let me read like the disclaimer so I get out of here. I gotta work on the Jimmy Lawrence Legacy Awards show. There's stuff coming up November 4th, man. I ain't gonna get too much sleep this month. I hope y'all appreciate that. Ain't gonna be doing all this people pleasing all the time. This is like I'm just trying to figure stuff out, man. And I know everybody's out there trying to figure stuff out. So let me read. Got a lot going on. I'm gonna read the disclaimer. Like I said, we're gonna have Bryce Timmons on the show, the lawyer for Gershon Freeman's family, on the show tomorrow. Special edition of We All Be. So, let's see. Who run it? We run it. Who run it? We run it. I'm trying to see my about page. It's not showing my about. Come on, YouTube. My about, man. Trying to read people disclaimer. The people must know before they act, and there's no greater educator than the press, man. I.B. Wells said that. Trying to get this read the about, but there's a lot of stuff going on. Computer acting tricky. It's tricky. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting 2024 as far as like what's going down. And it's like I feel like I'm an ant getting ready for the winter, but we're in the fall, right? So I'm getting ready. I'm getting my body, my mind, my spirit right for what's coming. And I want to encourage you all to get your mind, body, and spirit in line and right. Because I want to feel like what it feels like to have your health on point, with my mental, my spiritual, and my physical all aligned, to be able to manifest things I deferred for 25 years in my life. I want my family. I want my woman or women or whatever. I want stuff that I did not, because I thought I wasn't worthy to receive. Now I know I'm very much worthy, and I am enough, and I deserve love. I want to give love. I want to receive it. So I'm working on that. I'm gonna do it. Do it, do it, do it. I'm just trying to find something here. All this information. It's crazy, man. But take care of yourself, man. Y'all, like I said, y'all precious cargo. Take good care of yourself. And don't let anybody turn you around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Turn me around. Turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Da-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na. Walking down the freedom land. Something like that. Rest in peace, Sister Margaret Block. You are missed and loved. Real freedom, ride or die. Ride or die. Trying to see something. Okay. I was checking stuff. I don't know. Just making sure things are. Okay, folks, I'm gonna end it now. I love y'all. We love you madly. Keep on. Okay, wait a minute. Read the disclaimer. As I say myself. Disclaimer: the views expressed by hosts and guests on the We All Be TV platform are not the official views, opinions, beliefs, or perspectives of We All Be News or the We All Be Group Incorporated. We All Be News is an organization that thoroughly believes in supplementing the information narrative that is usually supplied by the corporate news entities with those viewpoints and expressions which may be marginalized or ignored for a plethora of reasons. We are about informing the general public on alternative perspectives as it relates to news and information, and letting the general public be the ultimate judge in deciding on how to use said information. Informed citizens are responsible citizens. Thank you for your support. And that does it for this edition. And I'll read the chat room comment. My sister Duckworth, one love. Devin Lastar from Tucson, one love. All right, I want to appreciate all y'all. Y'all up in here. All the good people, the family. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. We love y'all madly. And like I said, in the words together, we love you madly. Keep on producing and pushing. I see you, Strange Bedfellow Podcast. You April 21st. Thank you, Marcia, Byron, Ride or Die. Thank y'all so much. Y'all take care. Know that the best is yet to come. One love.